Okay, so hello colleagues and teacher. My name is Javier Ortega, and this is a vlog to share my thoughts on assessment. So I'm going to answer the three questions that were posed by the teacher in the activity number 2. And the first question is, first, are you assessment literate? Well, after reading the text by White, that is on the journal OnQ. Well, I have to say that I'm not already assessment literate, but I am on the right track. Why do I say that I am on the right track? Because we have been taught, and yes, we have been taught how to create meaningful goals, and how to create material or how to adapt material to tackle specific needs from our students. So well, I say that I would say that those are like some of the first steps to become assessment literate. The first thing is to realize, as the author says, is to realize that assessment is just like assessment should be purposeful, should tackle needs, so should be useful for something, just as the creation of materials and just as the setting of goals. So I think that's why I am still in the process of becoming assessment literate. Now the second question is, what are your most pressing concerns about the assessment in your context? Well, I have to say that my most pressing concern in terms of assessment is real life, and this is a concern that doesn't deal only with assessment but with all of the criteria that we've been taught with the ISELT teaching standards and with the autonomous learning environments. That is all these vast amount of great ideas that were developed in different countries and that are being brought into Colombia, but that actually need some refinement to be adapted to our local context. Like, for instance, all of us teachers are working for institutions, so we have to comply with requirements, we have to comply with deadlines, we have to give results, we have to comply with dates, with policies that the government or the school have implemented. So we are somehow constrained. Plus, for instance, my institution doesn't support that much. That teachers experiment, as the way they see it, experiment with learners and try to bring up innovative ideas, right? So it's quite restricted, the amount of the space or the room we have to bring up better ideas to our teaching experience. And that's what happens with assessment too. In my personal case, my syllabus gives me the role more like that role of an evaluator rather than an assessor. So I have to evaluate and provide like quantitative results instead of assess qualitative results, because that is what is in my contract, that is what the syllabus says, and that is those are the things that I have to comply with. So that is one of the problems I see. This takes us to the third question, that is, what do you plan to do in order to improve assessment in your classes? Well, let me start by mentioning another concern that I have, and that is the amount of students. I have around 150 students, and this is a low spectrum comparing my case to the case of teachers working for public schools, right? So I think assessing effectively all of those students weekly or monthly or every semester is a quite task, if you're talking about assessing per se. So in order to improve this, I'm going to implement collaborative strategies: peer correction, self-correction, peer assistance, self-assistance, self-directed behaviors. So my students will start to become a little bit more autonomous, and that will ease my workload, and actually that would foster meaningful learning too. Creating assessment opportunities from them for them. Also, I will, well, in order to assess rather than evaluate, I will improve the aspects that I mentioned in the first question. That is, I will start to set well, I will continue to set, because I've been working on that hard lately. I will continue to set meaningful, purposeful goals. I will continue to adapt and design material that actually tackles the necessities or the needs of my students, and this will lead me to assess whether I achieved meaningful goals, whether my materials were actually meaningful, and then this will lead me to actually meaningful, purposeful assessment of learning rather than evaluation of results. And that's all from me. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to hear from you or to read your comments. Thank you.